Hello everybody, this is that Shy Guy Matt, and today I'm continuing my epic rap battle journey with Season 5. It's been like 2 months since I've recorded any of these, so looking forward to another season. This first episode is J.R.R. Tolkien versus George.R.R. Martin. I know who both of these people are, love Lord of the Rings, read the books, seen the movies, never seen Game of Thrones, never read the books, but I've seen a lot of the plot points and all that. So I think I should get some of the references at least. So yeah, let's just hop into this one. Season 5. Ah, it looks like him. Again.
Brace yourself! Gather up your trolls and your soldier elves! And your ents and your orcs and your wargs and your stings, your dwarves and clam drains! Cause there's a new literary lord in the ring! My readers fall in love with every character I've written, then I kill them! And they're like,
this is true. I know from Game of Thrones, apparently they kill like everyone on the show. Doesn't matter who it is. I'm assuming that means literally everyone. Well, there must be some survivor, right? Because I know it's a game to get the main throne, isn't it? Interesting.
Bad guys die, your good guys survive. We can tell what's gonna happen a page in age 5. You're all seeing how to find some sex in your movie. Yeah. Ditch the Goonie and cast a couple boobies.
I did see like the first 4 episodes of Game of Thrones, technically. And I just lost interest. It was a lot of shock value, I feel, just for shock sake. So there was nudity, there was so much swearing, it just felt, it was just being edgy just to be edgy, and it just wasn't interesting for me. I always say if you can't make a good show, take away the swearing, the gore, the nudity, and if your show doesn't hold up then with the audience, then you know your show isn't that good. So, just saying, sometimes shock value is what makes a show good, like The Boys. Also, I can't stand The Boys either for the same reason. Shock value.
Your plots and not David the Gnome. Your hobbit hole heroes can't handle my throne. Kings, queens, dragons, dwarves,
Ooh, like the flow.
fortresses, magic, and swords. You have been my whole you uninspired hack. You want to...
You know, that's true. I mean, I guess he kind of stole from popular fantasy stuff like Lord of the Rings. But then again, most things kind of borrow from other books and movies, TV shows, so I don't know.
War George, welcome to Shire Rock. In books
Nice.
You got nothing to say. I'm number 1 and 2. You're under 50 shades of gray. I got the pros of a pro. You're a paw. You're a pirate. You even stole my RR.
How did I not recognize that when I said the title? J.R.R. George.R.R. Oh my gosh. Did George actually use the abbreviated RR on purpose? I'll say more about George after this, but...
Oh, we all know the world is full of chance and anarchy. So yes, it's true to life for characters that die randomly. But newsflash, the genre's called fantasy. It's meant to be unrealistic, you myopic vanity. I conscientiously object to what you're doing on these beasts. I'll cut you like my teeth on Beauty and the Beast. You went too deep, Professor Tweed Pants. We don't need the backstory on every fucking tree branch. I cut my teeth in the trenches of the Somme. You locked your Santa Claus ass through Vietnam. And it's hard for me to take criticism on clothes. From a dude who sends a raven to say hi to its toes. Man, your fat jokes are worse than your pipe smoke. My show's the hottest thing on HBO. I'm rock and roll, you're a nerdy little nebbish, and I may be dirty, but you got a hairy foot fetish, dog. Even the names of your characters suck. You got buffers and bofers and brandy bucks. I got a second breakfast for all them goofy. Lift up my gut and teabagging's my nuts. C.S. Lewis and I were just discussing how you and Jon Snow both know nothing. Because the backstory on my box office is brilliant. Got my children making millions off my Silmarillions, and I'm more rock and roll than you ever been. Don't believe me? Ask Led Zeppelin. You can't reach this, but shit, I'm
interesting.
too towering. Every time I battle, it's return of the king. Whoa, whoa, holster, you just saw.
Okay, here goes the outro. Okay, so that was Tolkien versus George Martin. I have heard, now you can let me know in the comments, maybe it's just angry people who don't like Game of Thrones, but I've heard that George Martin is kind of like full of himself, and I heard that nobody liked how the TV show ended. I didn't really read what happened. You could tell me in the comments because I don't care, I'm never going to watch it probably. And I also heard that he was lazy when it comes to writing his books, so I think I've seen people said the TV show seasons actually finished before he ever finished writing the series. So I'm not sure. I'm sure that means, yeah, All I know is people didn't like Game of Thrones how it ended. Apparently even the last 2 seasons, and I know there's been like a spin-off that people kind of talked about and then it kind of just died off. So I don't know. Again, I'm not a fan of Game of Thrones at all. I'm not a fan of shock value stuff, usually, depending on what it is. For the battle, because, that's the whole point. Who won? I think Tolkien won. Because he just brought up so many good points about George seeming to steal a lot of stuff. And while Game of Thrones was successful, Lord of the Rings is way more successful. It's spawned games, it spawned merchandise, re-releasing the books. I think George's lines weren't very hard-hitting. They're mostly kind of like subpar mocks at Tolkien, but they didn't really... Tolkien hit harder. So I think, yeah, Tolkien won. Also, I forgot that Tolkien and C.S. Lewis are friends. I love the Narnia stuff. So good start to the season. Good battle. Yeah, you know what I'm going to say. Like, comment, subscribe.